Well, this is awkward. It's completely blank. Up, and there it goes. There it goes, 54,900 miles. What's good, guys? It's Ron's Rides. I'm at Maserati Alfa Romeo of Daytona Beach, and this is possibly one of the highest mile quadrifolios in the United States, to be honest. We've looked all around. We can't find one that is as high as this one. Now, you guys saw in the beginning of the video that this has 54,900 miles on it. This is a 2016 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. Now, for the first time, this is back and for sale. So this is our first used Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. Now, you guys are probably wondering, how is this your first used when you had a white one that came in that was sold? Well, by all means, that was a used Giulia, but there's a story behind that. See if you guys can keep up on this, because it's a little confusing. One of the big NASCAR co-founders actually had a pearl white, Trofeo white, Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. They traded that in, and they picked up our first ever Stelvio Quadrifoglio that was also in pearl white. Before we can even get that Giulia that they traded in on the lot, somebody had already came in to buy it. So it was never put in our inventory, it was never put on our website, it was never even really logged besides on the back end. So we really couldn't call it a used Giulia for us, because we had never even seen it, you know, in our inventory, as far as, you know, on the lot, paperwork, all that kind of stuff. So this is actually our first used Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. Now, if you guys are subscribers, you'll know this specific vehicle. This is an infamous Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio with the most mileage on it. We did a couple of reviews on it. We did the first drive in it, because this was the first Quadrifoglio for the Giulia that this dealership sold. So this has been a couple of times in for service. So I've done the 30,000 mile service and the 50,000 mile service reviews on this. Now it's actually back in as a unit on our lot. Now, it's not cleaned up and it's not all fixed up yet, and I'll go over that in just a moment. What I wanted to do is get it on the lot, because there's a couple of question marks that we have to talk about before we even get this thing that's ready and sold. Now, with that said, this customer actually came in and bought one of our Volcano Black Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglios for 2018, one with the carbon bucket sparkle racing seats. So they actually traded in their Quadrifoglio for another Quadrifoglio. Now, in case anybody forgot, which you guys probably haven't, this Giulia is a 7-minute, 39-second lap time on the Nürburgring. This is a fast car, 191 top speed, 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds, and you're looking at 505 horsepower. That's a lot of power. These cars were very sought after when they first came out, because there was nothing like it for the price. But this one here, we're gonna have to talk about a few things. Now, here's where the problem lies with this car. It is at 54,900 miles, which I said is probably the most miles on a Giulia QV that we've heard of so far in the US. Now, with that said, your normal warranty is 4 years, 50,000 mile bumper to bumper, which means this car is 4,900 miles over its warranty. So normally, if you were to CPOV, certified pre-owned vehicle, for the car, you would do the certification. You would normally pay for Alfa $1,995 for 2 extra years, 100,000 mile limited warranty, with the exception of the 4C and this Giulia QV here, or any Giulia QV at that. We're not exactly sure if this car will be sold out of warranty, which it really seems like right now, to where whoever buys this car next, they might be on their own as far as fixing it. Now, obviously, with that said, you buy these cars with these kinds of miles on them because you're looking for a great deal. Maybe you have the means to take care of things when they happen. You have that rainy day fund, and you can do that. You'd rather not pay the full price and just pay for the maintenance and do a trade-off, which is completely fine. But for some people, that maintenance is a big do or die. You know, it's a deal breaker. If they don't have any kind of maintenance on a car as far as warranty goes, then they're out of the deal. So this car needs a few things done to it. So let's talk about the things we're gonna do for the vehicle before we actually put it on the lot. So we've already inspected the car, which is good because we know what it's gonna cost to fix it. But we gotta do a few things before we even put this on the lot. One of the things is clean it. It has to get detailed because it is pretty gross all over the place. Something that just needs to get done. A really good wash and wax could really just change the way a vehicle looks. But right now, this vehicle is very, very, very dirty. That's not the important thing, right? I mean, obviously you want a clean car. What's another thing we have to do? Well, we have to replace the spark plugs. That's one of the bigger jobs. And when you get up to the 50,000 mile rank, you've probably already looked at the spark plugs. This one here might not have. So we actually have to change the spark plugs because it has a funny idle to it. Now, whether they were done or not, I don't think they were. So that might bring something up as far as why they would have to get done. Along with the spark plugs, you saw in the beginning of the video that we had a small issue with the cluster going blank. That actually needs a software update for the cluster of the Giulia. Another thing we need to get done, well, the oil change. You want to have a fresh thing of oil, or a fresh oil change, shall I say, after so many miles. This car has had, I believe, 4 oil changes so far, so this would be number 5 if so. With those things done, this car should be ready to go. Now you can see after 50,000 miles, I did show you guys on a previous video that this car has some wear and tear in the leather. You're gonna see that on the driver's seat. You're always gonna see that. The Alcantara needed some help because it is very worn down on the steering wheel. All right, and then you see the leather on the sides too. You see it really starting to crease. After 50,000 miles, stuff like that happens. But for the most part, a lot of the carbon, the aluminum finishes, and the leather, as far as along the dash and the doors, look just fine. So it has been lasting when it comes to that fact, especially in the rear, because this person did not have rear passengers in the car, little if at all. So you still have pretty much a perfect rear seat for your passengers, which is really cool. All up top, everything looks good. And I'm not sure how well you guys can see that, but I mean, no marks or anything up top. A big thing you want to look at is, like I was saying, the body of the car. Now, obviously we can't tell too much on how good it looks because it is dirty. It needs a good wash and wax. But everything looks good. Exhaust could use a polish. It definitely is a little gritty on the exhaust. The diffuser is in one piece, so that's good because whoever this was driving that, you know, did not scratch up their rear diffuser. So that looks really good. The front looks really good as well, and that's important because you do have the carbon fiber active front fascia there. So it's the only sedan in the world with this at 70 miles per hour, with it going up and down, retracting to create more downforce. So you do have that front lip, which looks pretty good, but like I said, just filthy. You do see things like little tears there, a little bit of damage in the inside. But like I said, this is stuff that you're gonna get with driving a car this much. And if you go to buy something like this, obviously everything isn't gonna be perfect, but you're gonna make it yours, and you're gonna either do your repairs on it or you'll be okay with how the car is afterwards. But we definitely do the best we can in getting it look as close to new as possible. This Vesuvio gray is looking really good too. We don't get actually quadrifolios in Vesuvio gray. Since we've gotten this one, I don't think we've gotten another one in, to be honest, which is kind of crazy. But it looks really good with this combo. I actually would like to see this. It has the red calipers with the carbon ceramic brakes and red interior with it too. That would be nice. Lifting up the carbon fiber hood is really easy because it's light. You can just do it with a flick of the wrist. Everything under here looks good. Like I said, we are doing the spark plugs and changing the oil. But as far as that, everything else, I mean, it's all intact. I mean, this thing is, I'm sure, been pushed and it's been driven, and everything looks good. So this is before we even touched it, before we even really did anything. All we did was inspected it to see how everything looks. But I mean, if you guys see something, spot a flaw, let me know, so I can get it to my superiors, and I'll have you guys help me out as far as if you see anything that's out of place or that maybe, you know, something that you could spot that may be wrong. But everything I'm seeing looks good. Like I said, we did check it out, so we're gonna get those things done to it. Other than being dirty, the carbon fiber underneath on the hood looks really good. Nothing out of place there, everything looks good. We'll go around to the side, the carbon fiber side skirts there. Looks good on that end as well. Good on the other side, but we'll take a trip. We look at the spoiler. Carbon fiber spoiler looks good as well. Not too bad. Then we'll come around to the other side for the side skirts. I'm just having you guys just check it out, doing a pre-inspection for me. So when we get this all fixed up, I'll know for sure, you know, how everything looks. But it's always nice to be able to walk around these cars and check them out. I mean, you get your books and pamphlets here. So you get everything there, Alfa Romeo book. So you do have all your documentation there. Like I said, there's really nothing to look at in the back because it's pretty much flawless. Nobody has really been back here. Like I said, the gentleman daily drove this thing, but not too many passengers, if any at all, in the rear. You can tell by just looking at it. Even if I go to pop the trunk here, you can tell that a few things have been set back here. But for the most part, it looks pretty good. Battery over there on the right, and obviously nothing would be missing here because there's not much of anything to be missing. But wow, that looks beautiful. And it's not even cleaned up. That's the craziest part. Now, you guys have seen all of my videos on the Giulia Quadrifoglio, so you'll know all about the car. So I'm not gonna go over everything as far as how the type of wheels and brakes and all that. You guys know all that stuff, and if not, definitely check out the other videos. But here's my question for you guys. Not exactly sure what we're gonna charge for this thing, but knowing what you know about it, knowing that we are replacing some things, but that it may be out of warranty, let me know after seeing it, what would you pay for this used Giulia Quadrifoglio in Vesuvio gray? I want to know, knowing that it may be out of warranty, what exactly would you guys pay? I'm going to be curious to see what you comment down below because this is going to get quite interesting. And you guys got to be reasonable because you know what kind of car this is. You know the value for your money. You know, and if you don't, I need to make a video on this. You know the legacy and the history behind the Quadrifoglio badge. So what would you pay for this car? Now, it has to be in US dollars, but I want to know because I do not know pounds or much other currency, and that's my fault for not knowing. But I'm curious, guys. Now, if you're going to be interested in this car after everything I've shown you, after telling you everything we're going to do to it, definitely look at the number below because that's going to be the way you can reach me about this specific vehicle. You can also check out the specials that we have on the other vehicles we have here, like the Maseratis and the other Alfa Romeos, by clicking the website link down below. In the description, I have a landing page that will go directly to my page. It'll show you my specials. It'll give you the number, it'll give you the address to here, so you will have no reason to not check it out if you're in the market for one of these cars. But I definitely want to know down below what you guys would pay for this specific vehicle. Now, with that said, also check out the Patreon, also check out the social media. I always post videos and stuff on my Facebook page, on my Instagram page. I'm always posting stuff. You guys see a lot of this stuff before I even get it to YouTube on my social media. So hopefully you guys follow that because I got some cool car things I'm going to the next few weeks. Always like and subscribe. You got to subscribe for more Maserati Alfa Romeo content because if you don't, you're missing out, guys. I got it all. And definitely like the video to support the channel. Get me up in the rankings. Help your boy out. I appreciate you so much. Also have something special getting done to the Ghibli, which you guys might like too. So with that said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video and my look at our first official used Romeo Giulia that is going to be for sale. There's not many of these at all for sale used. So hopefully you guys got a kick out of this one. I didn't want to drive it or rev it yet because it needs new spark plugs and all that kind of stuff. So enjoy it as it is. Guys, we will talk to you in the next video. You guys be blessed. Be safe. Peace.